How is it going, everyone? I hope you're having a good day. I talked about Ace Bailey in one of these like first look type videos where we just watch through one of his full game cut ups and unedited give my thoughts. And I'm gonna do that with his Rutgers teammate Dylan Harper, who I'm really high on. So let's get 150 likes and I'll do another one of these kind of first look type videos. I'm definitely gonna do a bigger scouting report on Harper and hopefully Bailey at some point. But let's get into this game. Like, subscribe, all that would be huge. You guys are the best. I love all of you. But let's talk about Dylan Harper, who is one of the couple incredible lead guard prospects. And the main thing that pops out is his strength and his frame, combined with a really nice handle. As Harper's able to cross over, turn this defender's torso open, and then uses great strength and downhill power. At that point, it's kind of just over when Harper gets downhill. In this game against VJ, who we're gonna incidentally see, talking about, Harper takes step back three. He's a pretty good shooter. I really do like his shot versatility and his willingness and just volume as a pull-up shooter overall. Very comfortable shooting off the ball from range as well. Assuming if we'll see some of that in this game, but there's some transition stuff for Harper earlier. I do think he has the makings of a top prospect, though, because of the size, the strength, and it's like the rhythm at which he drives. Great offensive rebound there for a big board. And he really does little things, which I don't think is a given for these like high-level prospects. I kind of had this issue with Ace where he wasn't a little things guy. Another deep pull-up attempt by Harper. Is he not always taking the quote-unquote smartest shots, but I think especially for young players, I talked about this with Ace, with Harper, like these kind of NBA level pull-ups, especially for a guy like Harper who's going to be on the perimeter, are important shots. And I definitely want to see Harper taking those shots against under coverage when they're kind of leaving him alone. I absolutely want to see Harper taking those shots. I do have some lingering concerns about advantage creation, because like there are times when I feel like his burst isn't able to win, and maybe this is just kind of a preference thing. Like he's not comfortable keeping his handle alive. He doesn't want to continue pressing this downhill and try to either score or draw this defender and hit a laydown pass, which he can absolutely hit. We'll get to his passing at some point, I'm sure. But then just like settling for these bad shots. So I think, again, similar to Ace, some of it is process, though I think less of it is physical tools related, because I think he has the burst and the strength. And again, we see a play like this where Harper just easily uses his burst and his quick change of direction, super flexible and fluid here. He's not like the lowest ever, but again, really, really low overall. Chins basically parallel to the ground. Just kind of barges in and draws a foul there, it looks like, or at least generates a nice paint touch. Again, great off-ball scoring, but an awesome block right there. That's just a damn good rotation. Is that Thiam? I think that is. If so, I'm a big fan of Mustafa Thiam. Don't know exactly how to say his name, but more bully guard shit from Harper. I remember this play where this is what like the good stuff that happens when he can keep his dribble and keep his handle alive. Harper in jail here, spins back against Edgecombe, and just VJ has no real chance against a guy as big and strong as Harper. As big and strong and athletic as VJ is, Harper is just kind of a different level guy in terms of moving players backwards. As he does it again here, he doesn't end up finishing the play where Harper kind of gets squeezed off. And again, part of my concerns, when he's not winning with his burst, he can try to like barge his way forward and just like stop and try to do a bad shot at times. But I do think he has the tools to be a better advantage creator than he is. But that's my main lingering worry with him, if I have any. If there's any reason that Harper disappoints for whatever reason, doesn't end up being the top prospect that I think he can be, and a lot of people obviously do, it's going to be because he's not the level of advantage creator that we thought, which I think is possible. But overall, I would say I certainly believe in it more than I don't, and we're going to talk more about it as this game goes on. Harper again drawing a foul off the ball there, making his free throws, and then he's just going to throw it up to end the half. But I do really believe in Harper's shooting. We haven't seen much of it in this game. Nice little face up into a jumper. Even though the shots aren't going in, I like the shot profile. I like how confident he is getting his shots off. I like him attempting a movement three there. Looks like maybe he got blocked or fouled. Though I can't really tell what happened here. Yeah, he definitely got fouled or blocked or whatever. But I think Dylan's ability as a cutter is really nice. The fact that he is so like aggressive and active, seeking out these shots off the ball, It's a real skill, as I've talked about in this on this channel, and not a lot of guys have it. And whew, that is also a real skill. The shot doesn't go in, but again, his like right drive to left spin move is so nasty because of one. Obviously, he's going back to his strong hand, and then he has this hard pound dribble right here. VJ Edgecombe, very explosive player, cannot stay in front of him. But Harper also isn't the most above the rim guy. He is like an okay vertical athlete, but isn't incredible or anything. And I do think, though, he is really big and tall, that does kind of hurt him. But yeah, this is just what Harper does. Surgical change of pace, stop on a dime there, hop step, playing off of 2 feet, using his touch to finish. All of like the bully guard stuff that like Brunson types do, but Harper's actually 6'4", 6'5", and has like the size to do it against most non-bigs, right? Or at least that's the idea. This is a fantastic play as well. As you can see, when he gets low, and at times he can really overwhelm with burst. I think it's especially when he gets a good matchup or when he can throw a defender off of his timing with great handling. But yeah, Harper, again, super low and explosive here. Gets downhill, ends up drawing a foul there, or maybe he just got blocked. But yeah, I think we've seen Harper's some of his below the rim in this game, right? That he isn't the most explosive finisher or athlete above the rim, but because of how freaking strong and like crafty, he has amazing touch, he's gonna get downhill all the time. And yeah, I mean, I think this is the kind of play that I want to bet on with young players. Like the process of getting to like the high value spot, which is right in the middle of the paint, is so good. Harper gets cut off, immediately throws it behind the back with his right hand, explodes into the gap. And yeah, I mean, he kind of just like smokes this shot, honestly. Like, I don't hate the process here. Maybe he keeps his dribble alive for another beat, which I would always pretty much recommend if possible. Like, keeps it alive, maybe knifes down into here, plays off of 2 feet, as we talked about. Which, when Harper does that, he's so good at playing off of 2 feet and holding himself down. But the easy advantage creation, again, he beats Edgecombe off the dribble and just can't finish. And I do need to note like how bad this spacing is, right? But that gets better for basically everyone. I think it's important here that he beats Edgecombe clean off the dribble. He turns his hips, forces him to turn and chase, and just, again, isn't able to get that shot over the very, very reliant on like the strength and the tough shots, which I don't, like I said, I don't love, but he is pretty good finishing with his right hand, which I always do like. And again, when he plays off of 2 feet, he can be powerful, he can be controlled, he can be explosive. He's really damn good when he's balanced and under control. And I think that's like a low-hanging fruit thing that you definitely can coach and definitely can develop. And once that ends up happening, whoo boy, he's going to be a ridiculously potent driver finishing threat. As again, the right hand, just nasty, nasty, nasty. Wins with burst and acceleration here. He doesn't initially get the win, but right, he's able to keep pushing, turn this defender, plays off of 2 feet, jumps through contact, scoop layup with his weak hand. He's an extremely polished scorer despite being, a young player, 18-year-old. The shots are not falling in this game, but that's going to happen sometimes. Even for elite shooters and elite shooting prospects, they obviously have games. And beautiful, this is just, he has had his way with VJ Edgecombe in this game. He's not always finishing these plays because of help or because of his own issues, but man, stutter rip here, beautiful. Turns Edgecombe, wedges into him with his shoulder, throws him backwards, hops back to his right hand, glides, and finishes. That is absurd. That is a star-type play against another future NBA player, right, who he's been matching up with this whole game. And again, I think, like, once Harper, like, assuming he keeps improving with his right hand, like, his touch, I think, is going to get there. And, like, he's just so big, he can shoot over people. I do think he needs to get better at passing with his right hand on that right side. We'll talk about his passing in just a second, which is awesome. I don't think he passes as much in this game, but Harper has this like lay down pretty open, and just because he's not as comfortable like passing off of a live dribble with his right hand. But we're gonna get into the passing right now. Is Harper is just one of these monsters in terms of advantage creation, where he's always downhill and always in the paint, and therefore he's always drawing help, but his vision is actually phenomenal. I think he has really exceptional timing and placement, and even though it doesn't get through cleanly, I love this attempt here in transition, trying to thread the needle for a wide open layup or dunk or foul draw, and I think they end up keeping the ball there, right? So that's the type of play that ends up working. But this is surgical. Harper, again, beating Edgecombe clean off the dribble with his first step. Not an easy defender to blow by cleanly. Edgecombe has, his his issues technique wise, but Harper, again, we see him getting really low in an explosive stance, creating a ton of power with that first initial push, and then the nice little no-look to add onto it. Number 5 has no idea where the ball's going. Harper kicks it to the corner. You can see the manipulation, and it's not just that he's such an amazing advantage creator that there's easy passing windows all the time. He actually has the plus manipulation and vision and timing and all that stuff to really make teams punish, or really punish teams. I was gonna say make them pay for leaving him open and for not playing carefully. And Harper isn't gonna force stuff really. Like, he could take this interior pass right here, but he sees Edgecombe sinking in the paint, right? And he's just gonna throw the easy skip pass, creates an advantage. His teammate ends up converting. Another pass out in transition, but yeah, Harper is just a phenomenal playmaker. Can combine with his driving and strength and ability to score in the paint and to live in the paint is a very scary trait. And you know what? Sometimes he does try to pass with his right, and I need him to do more. Like, excuse me, is this pass perfectly on the money? No, it's not. But the fact that Harper rejects the screen, explodes into the gap, sees this defender sink into the paint, and immediately thinks, yeah, my guy is going to be wide open. Let's get it to him with my right hand. And it's not the worst pass in the world, right? He still ends up getting a wide open 3-point attempt. This is the kind of high-level stuff I want my elite point guard prospects to be doing and to be experimenting with in these games. And Harper absolutely has that. Ends up just losing his handle here. His handle is I'd say, is great overall, but, at times it's going to happen, especially against really great defenders. And Harper, we're going to get to his defense now. Great steal instincts. He's a really good defensive prospect, which I think is part of why I'm also so high on him. Like, I do have these offensive concerns with some of the space creation and just how good the shooting is, but he is a phenomenal defensive prospect. He is a tank on the ball, which hopefully we'll see right now. Very strong. He does end up getting turned around by VJ, which, happens when you play a guy with his level of burst, but not the greatest technique here. Initially does well to get around the screen, but opens his hips up and gives himself up way too easily, and then just tries to swipe in it. From that point, it's just not going to be very effective. But Harper has the strength and physicality to be an awesome point of attack defender. He's so quick laterally, he can totally overwhelm you. And then he also has the team defense instinct. Again here, when he sits down and when he gets into his stance, there's only so much you can do. I don't think I actually said this up top, but thanks so much to Cash Iggy for these clips. Go sub to him and watch his videos, please. I really appreciate it. He's linked in the bio as always. These cut-ups make my life so much easier and the lives of everyone else who likes scouting and stuff. But yeah, Harper overwhelming at times at the point of attack. Great job fighting through the screen here, getting an illegal screen call. When he locks in, which again, he's not always locked in, but I would say relative to top prospect guards, he's pretty effortful defender. I say that he's had some bad moments in this game, swiping for kind of no reason and giving up an easy blow by. But he has some real moments of shot blocking and rim protection. He's going to get kind of beat here as well, a little bit behind the play. Got to stop swiping, man. But overall, I'd say I'm very intrigued by his defense. Again, I think draws an illegal screen called there. And at some point, whenever I make a full video on Harper, I'll talk more about his defense. But it is, you can see the tools, right? And you can see how he becomes an elite on-ball defender who can just blow through screens when he's locked in and just stay attached to guys all the time. And he has, impressive moments of off-ball playmaking and instincts and stuff here that, he doesn't maybe showcase as much now as he can in the future, but I definitely think in the future we're going to see more of Harper unlocking this kind of team defense. Really nice play here where he's playing as the low defender against this Spain pick and roll, but he immediately picks up the open driver, hands up, forces a really tough pass out. Clearly has good instincts and sense for positioning, even if it's not always perfect. And as I mean here, right? He opens himself up way too much, hops forward, gives VJ a wide open driving lane that he takes and ends up giving up. But none of these defensive mistakes to me are so horrible or unfixable. Again, we see VJ's unbelievable speed, or so horrible or unfixable given the kind of tools he has. And I tend to bet on these smart, toolsy young players to improve. Great job anticipating there, getting the steal. I would bet on Harper's defense. Absolutely. I think he has the tools and he has the physicality and he has the movement skills, everything you need to like envision him being a lockup defender on and off the ball. But let me know what you think of Dylan Harper. I'm definitely going to do another video on him. This was an interesting game. I think usually I would say he passes more and has more legit passing moments, but we saw a good amount, I think. And maybe shot a little more in this game than usual. But yeah, let me know what you think. Leave a like, comment, sub, all that would be amazing. Thank you.